Guys, let's continue with Trump. Sometimes it's interesting to say that life under Trump can be anything, but never boring because it's always something happening. You never know. Even himself doesn't know what is going to happen. In the morning, he may say something. In the evening, he may say something else. That jokes aside, I would say that I can say I like it for several reasons. Number one, um, if the previous tariffs he charges has some uh, good excuse, for example, like fair trade, like reciprocal trade tariffs, but this time it breaks by charging extra 50% of the time, 50% of the tariffs over China. There's no veil, or all the veils, all the disguise are waived. So it's basically just whatever he wants. Okay, so that's one thing. Trump, to be honest, I'm not personally to him, but Trump is not uh, famous for being a intelligent analyzer, but he's a great marketer. That's how he won the election, right? Because it just comes to him naturally, say things very fast, and because in the marketing, the intelligence is that the simpler the message, the clearer the message, the more audience you win. So that's one kind of audience, one kind of intelligence. But when it comes to analysis, Trump is not that. He is a great destroyer, so to speak. He he's been busy, anxious to destroy many things, and without preparing for the things that can substitute. Okay, here, for example, the rhetoric has been for a while, for ever since Biden's time, or even earlier during the first Trump administration, that China has um, ripping the U.S. off. But in this time, that this Treasury Secretary Bassett, or whatever his name, kind of surprised me by saying something so naive, making me thinking that Trump has gathered a bunch of yassayers around him. Unlike the first term, he had some people intelligent to him. That this time, everybody says yes to him, and that's why the third point I want to make is that we need to put some constraint on Trump. So by the Congress, and fully support the Congress to put Trump under leash, and then say take some power of tariff charging power away from him, because I read some article that says that by U.S. constitutions, Article 1, Section 8, it says that the Congress has the power to levy taxes, tariffs, everything, right? Except in after 1930s, Congress voluntarily gave away the power to the executive branch. But that's not always the case. I guess in this case, in the case of Trump, we really need something to slow him down. Because otherwise, we don't know. He may become the biggest U.S. Economy liability. So this one we really need some like this. So this one thing. Okay, this is my third. I'm ahead of myself. That my third point. The second point that I want to say is that we need some analysis. Like Bassett is saying that the U.S. Imported 1/5 of their volume from China versus China's import. You know, from U.S. And when it comes to trade, there's three measures. Number one is a volume measure. Okay, so that's what the Bassett was talking about. Number two is a cash value measure, cash flow measures. That's the surplus deficit, right? And the number three is something called trade in value added, TIVA. So the volume, the shallowest measure indicator is the volume. Okay. The second, the surplus is cut a little bit deeper, but it's still not as deep as a TIVA, trading value added. Okay. So if you look at this, if you look at the trading value of TIVA measure, then let's look at the iPhone. Each iPhone, let's say China only earns like 20 or 10 to $20, and then the rest of it basically, divided by the U.S. companies. U.S. company is strong in design, in brand, in financials, in coordinations. So that's the whole reason that China's Xi Jinping tried to climbing up to the global value chain by moving China above where it is now. Except that China is not hasn't done that very successfully. But if I'm the Chinese, I would support Xi Jinping for doing that because that's for the benefit, for the welfare of the public welfare for the entire citizens. The country climbing up to the global value chain. It's a good thing. Okay, that actually put some competition on the U.S. side. Otherwise, they just too easy comes too easy. So, in other words, basically, if you want to summarize this, is that the more the U.S. imported from China, the higher value it makes. So that may be surprising, but that's the real reality. That you can check that online, you can check the Chat GPT, AI chat product. You find out that's the truth. So I'm surprising that the Trump is not a. I don't know. That's something that his assistant, the secretaries of department, their duty to remind Trump to educate Trump. So otherwise, things will be getting bad for the global economy.